I thought for a second maybe we had a Brian Stelter jingle, but the Shillzilla one will do for now.
Shill. A shill for sure.
Indirectly affects our Shillzilla, so yes.
Shills, yeah, perhaps it's a sort of an omen for what, might...
the path is set.
Yes, the path,
Something
the career path is set for Shillzilla. Washington Times. America's newspaper, it says. Former CNN host Brian Stelter joins Harvard as media fellow. Will examine threats to democracy. Oh, yeah, he's totally qualified for this. I mean, when you think of Harvard, especially the sort of media fellowship, the media schools at Harvard, what you really want to do is work your entire life, do your homework, don't go to parties, get straight A's, do extracurriculars, perhaps find some way to mark yourself as a minority, get into Harvard just to be taught about the threats to democracy by a sentient Bratz doll, a giant baby man.
You know who likes the giant baby man are the Moonies.
What do you mean? Why do they like him? Because Washington Times?
Yeah, Moonies own the Washington Times.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if the Moonies like him, he's A-okay.
It's endorsed. Yeah. Continue.
Recently ousted CNN host Brian Stelter will take on the, quote, threats to democracy and other topics as Harvard's media and politics fellow, the university said on Monday. Mr. Stelter will be working at the prestigious Ivy League college through at least the fall semester as its Walter Shorenstein Media and Democracy Fellow. Wow. He holds a very special position.
Oh,
he's not just a prof or something. He is one of one Walter Shorenstein Media and Democracy Fellow. According to a press release from the university, the former, quote, reliable sources host will, quote, convene a series of discussions about threats to democracy and the range of potential responses from the news media, the university said. The range of potential responses. Now, keep in mind, Brian Stelter is not a journalist. He's not a...
How dare you?
He's barely an anchor.
Oh, how dare you?
Almost not. He is a TV personality that hosts a talk show. He is not a reporter, not a journalist. He is a talking head, kind of like me.
Shiny
and it
talking
says
head.
Here. And so, this bodes well for those in the business who make it their career goal to sort of, shill for the establishment, for the corporations, for the, the brainwashing programs, to bend the knee, kiss the ring, do it as long as possible, eschewing all sort of all reference to self-respect and, some sort of actual critical thought in the news. And kids, if you do this, you can work at Harvard. So pay attention, Chris Shillzilla. What is he going to be talking about? Those discussions will involve media figures, policymakers, politicians, and Kennedy School students, and will, quote, help deepen public and scholarly understanding about the current state of the information ecosystem. Ha! Brian Stelter of CNN giving the current state of the information ecosystem. He is perfectly suited. The current state of the information ecosystem is you have giant baby / robot lizard people towing a line, reading a script that's fed to them on a teleprompter. He is the perfect person to tell people what the current state of information ecosystem is and its impact on democratic governance. I don't know what qualifies him to talk about civics, except for the aforementioned sort of allegiance to the system.
Let me just...
I think this is very helpful. Real quick, one last comment. He did such a great job of brainwashing the masses. It is only natural that when he loses that job, you put him straight at the top. You put him at the Harvard media and broadcasting schools. So maybe he's not going to be lying out of his what are they called? Mandible, his strange thing he calls a mouth when I forget. To the
what
public.
Are you trying to say?
Instead, I'm trying to.
What
There's a
ramblings?
fancy word. We're
like
moving
nobody
on.
likes him, but still, man, come on.
No, this is important. This is important. He, instead of lying straight to the public, his job now is to teach or program the next generation of media, influencers coming out of Harvard, of course, to do the job as good as he did. I'm happy for him.
There's kind of a through line with CNN and the change in CNN and then maintaining a Stelter is the fact that Harvard was part of the investigation for the Confucius Institute. If you remember from Bloomberg from 2020, Harvard, Yale under U.S. investigation over foreign funding. So, I don't know what came of that. I don't think there was. There were a bunch of universities that dropped the Confucius Institute, and I think for the most part it's been exposed. But it doesn't mean that there's still tentacles left and connections made. So to me, it's more of a
the connections with CNN and Beijing too.
Yeah. So anyway, just another line of thinking.
Two more sentences that I think are just great to read out loud. Mr. Stelter told the campus newspaper, the Harvard Crimson, that he hopes to bring the spirit of his former show to the university's campus. Interesting choice of words.
Yeah, if it's the dragon, then it makes sense. Chinese and the dragon.
The spirit of the Antichrist. It is unclear if the fellowship is a paid position.
Oh, please.
Unclear, Guns. He's just doing it out of the kindness of his heart.
The fact that they had to say that in the article means there's some kind of long-term deal here. This isn't just, and it's not necessarily monetary. It could be monetary, but in a more sleight of hand way.
It could be all sorts of backroom deals.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Brian Stelter, good luck, my friend. And Chris Shilzilla, pay attention. The path is clear. The path is clear, buddy.
You can one day be a Harvard. You can be the next man to be named whatever this is.
Whatever it is. You can be a fellow.
Yeah.